La Palma Volcano Eruption Update. Eruption with no end in sight and is continuing to erupt with intensity. The eruption status, according to Volcano Discovery today, is 4 out of 5. It's the shield volcano of 2,426 meters, and it's in the Canary Islands, west of the coast of Africa. The last eruptions were, September and ongoing today. They were also formerly 1971, 1949, 1712, 1677, 1678, 1646, 1585. And eruption style is, of course, effusive. The eruption continues with little changes and remains very intense, explosive and effusive activity. In particular, the summit vents have been producing spectacular lava fountains and generating an ash plume that rose to 3,800 meters this morning. That's over 7,000 feet. Several surface lava flows have been observed flowing from the cone. The mixed explosive effusion activity paired with high rates of magma reaching the surface causes frequent small and sometimes larger changes in the geometric configuration of the growing cone as rapid accumulation works against the forces of gravity, dragging the material of ejected and flowing away parts that become undermined by formations of tubes, things like that. Currently, at least 4 or 5 vents are active, aligned in a row, with different behavior as the magma pressure varies with the height of the vents themselves and the complex interactions of rising gases and the fluid magma in the conduits. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. And here we have the most recent image of these rows of vents spewing the lava. As you can see, they're forming in rows. As Volcano Discovery is telling us. Currently, at least 4 or 5 vents are active, aligned in a row with different behavior as the magma pressure varies with the heights of the vents themselves and the complex interactions of the rising gases and the fluid magma in the conduits. And to get the impression, we can watch activity of the vents by drone coverage today. And I'll leave a link below for you. This is on Volcano Discovery. Now, concerning the most significant instrumental data, there are no signs of a soon end in sight either. Instead, earthquakes have slowly increased, not in size, but in numbers. During the past 24 hours, there were 103 earthquakes, magnitude 3 to 3.7, so they were pretty big, and 156 earthquakes between 2 magnitude and 3 magnitude. The location remains the same as before, most at around 12 kilometers depth under the central part of Cumbre Vieja volcano, and a few ones in the deeper layer around 35 kilometers. Ground deformation also suggests magma pressure from below is stable with no clear trend. This suggests that there is still supply of magma from deeper sources to balance the erupting volumes. So in other words, the eruption is at an equilibrium and might go on for quite some time. Now, the latest earthquakes, according to Volcano Discovery, the biggest was 4.9 earthquake in La Palma, 10.1 kilometers south of Santa Cruz de la Palma in Spain, October 23rd. The biggest quake today, the 27th, 4.8. 4.2 southeast of Santa Cruz, October 27. Okay, so the 4.8 was today. The biggest recently was 4 days ago of 4.9. So during the past 14 days, the Palma Volcano has been shaken by 26 earthquakes of 4 magnitude or above, and 683 earthquakes between 3 and 4 magnitudes, and 1,124 earthquakes between 2 and 3 magnitude. So that's 1,024 plus 700, 1,800 about 1,800 some odd earthquakes in the past 2 weeks. Now, according to the I don't have any information concerning the ash flow, but we did have a tremendous ash problem. They were covered in feet of ash. Okay, here we are in Volcano Discovery, and this is our ash flow. Some of the recent images. The latest map of the area, October 26. Rapid mapping team of the Copernicus project released 34th update on the map of the area covered by new lava, totaling now 908.2 hectares as of yesterday, October 26. The good news is that the larger the lava field is, the more likely is that new lava will rather be added on top of that instead of covering new areas, from what they say. In fact, the activity of the size of the lava flow field has slowed down. Only about 1.9 hectares were covered by new lava flows, and no new building damage during the 24-hour interval. So eruption, strong activity this morning after uptick in earthquakes as well. That's one of the reasons today's picture of the Qimedia webcam. And of course you can see all this ash coming out. The activity at the vents has strongly increased this morning. Tall lava flows reported up to 600 meters tall, rising from the main vent. You can see them here, the lava flow here. While others produce dense ash and lava splattering, lava can also be seen flowing on the surface away from the cone, obviously right here. Tremendous amount of activity in Volcam. You can see the height of the flow, of the fountaining of the lava. So this seems to correlate with an increase of earthquakes in the last day, having been reduced in numbers yesterday. 4 earthquakes between 4 and 4.7 alone, in addition to 130 ones at magnitude 2.5 to 3.9. One of the 4 magnitude earthquakes occurred early this morning, shallow depth of 13 kilometers, which is thought to be the main reservoir of the magma before it rises to the vents. Quakes precede phases of intensification. What does they say there? It seems that such upticks of quake activity, there's a lava flow here, earthquake activity precedes phases with increased lava supply several hours later. This might fit into the following model. First, magma pressure at depth increases either by surges from new magma arriving there or from temporary blockage in the paths above, preventing a sufficient release of it at the eruption. Then the pressure on the surrounding rocks creates new cracks and paths, which shows up as quakes. Third, the magma then rises through new and existing conduits until it reaches the surface hours later. So that's the picture that we saw with the various vents. It's not here. No, it's not here. Okay. This is the map of the location of it right here, as we can see. Okay, tremendous activity of earthquakes. And where was the other one? Here it is. Okay. As you can see, the vents that opened up, tremendous amount of vent activity, new vents opening up right there. The vents opening up. New tubes, vents. One factor is that such large reconfigurations at the vent create new conditions so that the arriving magma might more easily find new ways to enter existing or create new tubes. But it's likely that currently, indeed, less magma is reaching the surface, but as this is a sign the eruption might be waning, likely not. Unfortunately, instead of slowly deflating, the magma chamber is being emptied by the eruption. The ground near the eruption site has been rising significantly again, so it's inflating with magma. Ground has been rising again, and quite dramatically so. If the station LP3 has a correct measurement, the ground rose 10 centimeters in one day. 10 centimeters. That's about the size of your forefinger. Well, no, maybe half of the forefinger. So that's pretty big. Now, if the station LP3 is correct, 10 centimeters rise. If that amount of inflation is caused by more magma arriving from depth into shallowing reservoirs, then what is erupting? It would fit the picture of less activity at the vents. It also fits the observation that the volcanic tremor remains high at similar levels in the past days, meaning that the system is still being supplied with significant amounts of magma each day. What's not easy to interpret is this model is that earthquakes have decreased significantly in number at the same time compared to the past day's average, less than half as many earthquakes in the past 24 hours, only about 100. One of the strongest quakes so far, 4.8 or 4.9, occurred this afternoon at 5:25 p.m., 40 kilometers depth. So there we go with the vents again. Concerning the most significant instrumental data, there are no signs of soon end in sight either. Instead, earthquakes have slowly increased, not decreased in size, increased not in size, but in numbers, as we said before. So that's the situation here. No end in sight, inflation with magma obviously causing the inflation. Please leave your comments. All of you there, around there, please be very alert and safe. Thank you for your support.